So we've got a few bits lined up we're going to chat about today, aren't we? So we're going to cover things like day-to-day life, lifestyle, content, bodybuilding, and then just everything in between.
The full shebang, yeah. So hope you guys enjoy.
So this is going to be the first of many, innit?
Yeah,
hopefully. And we'll just essentially today, I think, just a little bit of an intro of who we are to anyone who doesn't know, and just kind of go through some nice hot topics that we've got and we want to speak about, and just give an insight, like I say, of who we are, and kind of, because we've got a plan, haven't we, like going forward, going to be doing these more frequent and just really getting into it and just discussing things about life and just in general.
Yeah, agreed. Got some good topics to speak about, my lad. Nice one for obviously joining us. But look forward to it. So might as well get straight into it then.
Yeah.
Well, an introduction as to what we're actually going to be doing and speaking about over the next however long. What exactly is it? Josh, tell me a bit more about you. Let's throw it straight back to where it all started then. So,
just in general in life, so we don't need to roll it back too far because my life's not been that interesting, to be honest. But like, I think it's more important just to kind of talk a bit about what led us to get to where we are now, more than anything for me. So bits of growing up, like I'm not going to turn around and say that I had a difficult life, because I didn't. Like, growing up, never went for anything, never went short. Mum and dad always did everything they could for me.
Yeah.
Even in times when I know like they couldn't really do that. So, but school wise, naughty kid. I was a naughty kid, but a clever kid.
Yeah.
Obsessed with sport. Loved that. That was like my escape from just doing normal school stuff. I didn't enjoy it at all, mate. I don't know about you, but I weren't into school at all, really. Apart from the things that I enjoyed, subjects-wise. PE was one of them. Maths was actually one of them, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah, I was into maths. And history, which is a bit of a mad one, but anyway. And just kind of really just, like I say, that little bit of an escape. I played sport 5-6 times a week. Played football to a decent level, schoolboy level.
That's good.
Which ended up going to California for 2 weeks playing football. Played against LA Galaxy.
That's good, that.
Yeah.
What age was that up to?
I started, so year 7. So what's that, 11?
Yeah.
10, 11. I was 11 till year 9. So 3 years with them. That was good. Trials with a couple of football teams, Oldham, Rochdale, better. And I played rugby as well. Played that. Yeah.
All right.
That was good. But just a sporty kid, really. Loved it.
And when did you get into the gym?
Training.
Yeah.
So I started training alongside. First started training when I was 13. I have spoke about this before, but for anyone who doesn't know, I started training at Flex and Tone in Salford. Yeah, that was
born and bred, mate.
First ever gym, mate. That was my first ever gym.
There you go.
And when I first walked in, it was like, from the day that I walked in, I was obsessed with training. From the day that I got in there, I used to love all the old Arnie stuff, like watching all the old pumping iron and all that. It was my favourite stuff, man. Just to watch. Started training there, and I remember the first day I walked in, still remember it. £2.50 it was to get in, and I could only use the kids bit at the back. And they just walked in, I was like, wow, like all those guys getting ready for competitions, like some of the biggest guys you've ever seen in your life. And I've scurried over to this little area, like where you could train. And the guy came over to me, big guy, and I thought, here we go.
Yeah.
I was only young, only a kid, and he just came over, and he was the nicest guy I've ever spoke to, and he just was giving me like pointers and direction on training. And I thought, he's going to take my head off here. That's what I thought, but it was the opposite. And I realised there and then, mate, once I just started training, that this is what I want to be. I was looking at them guys thinking, this is it, man.
They're saying it when you know.
Yeah, 100%.
So Flex and Tone obviously got in there, and then how often was you training? When did you properly get into it? When did you start doing your poses and stuff? Yeah.
So all the actual bodybuilding stuff, which we'll get into in a bit, I always wanted to do it. Like I said, I always loved all the Arnie stuff. I'd always loved Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
I loved all that. But I'd always had in my mind I wanted to compete. Like, I wanted to be like that. But the actual thought of competing never came till I was older, really. I was just training, just for the love of training. Like, you know yourself, when you get into it, you're just doing it because you love it.
Yeah.
Nutrition's not anywhere near where it needs to be. Training's not. You learn a lot. I've been training, what, now? 10 years? Now, 12 years? I'd only class myself as properly, like, training probably the last 2 years, if that.
Mad, innit? Yeah.
Mad.
Big difference.
But yeah, now I trained every day alongside, like I say, played football, rugby, so I was active kid in terms of like sports and stuff. But I was always a naturally skinny kid.
Yeah.
Which obviously turned on its head as I got older. But yeah, I was just all like, I loved it. I loved everything about sport. I loved everything about being active. Until you get to a point where you get to about 15, 16 and it goes a bit out the window, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With the going out, partying and doing whatever else.
Yeah.
That's what we was out. All my mates were quite a bit older.
Yeah.
From a year older to, at the time, some of them like fucking 6, 7 years older. So sort of came away from sports and stuff. Still always trained.
A Monday to Friday train or Saturday to Sunday.
Well,
round the bend.
not even Saturday to Sunday sometimes. Sometimes it's Friday to Monday, but
Really?
you can get away with it when you're younger, can't you? But training was always consistent. Got older, sports and that dropped off. But yeah, and I was still always what I thought was consistent with that, just purely for the love of it. But yeah, got to that age of 16, 17, introduced into the partying and whatever. Yeah, that's in terms of like the life of that growing up. That's pretty much it, because I know we've got other stuff we want to touch on.
Do you want to touch into like the period in between that, or do you want to go into that a little bit later?
What, in terms of
like 18 to now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll go over it because I'm gonna talk about it anyway, aren't we? So 17, 18. I got back into playing rugby a little bit because I was playing it in college,
right?
And I just started to sort of get back into it. I started putting on some bit of size as I was getting older.
Right.
Like I said, I was always a proper skinny kid, because if you think how much exercise I was doing, what we know now, which I didn't really understand then, is
less is more.
Like, calories in, calories out, innit?
Oh, really? Always
my
like
output was that high, so I could never put size on, even though we wasn't doing it properly. Never put size on.
Was he getting big, like bulky or?
Nah, I wasn't really. I couldn't. I didn't understand nutrition enough, which is why I bang on about it so much. I didn't know enough, and my output was mega high until you hit 60, like that age. Obviously, I stopped playing football, stopped playing rugby. This was about 18, and I started gradually gaining weight.
Right.
From about 18, on and off. So I'd do these crash diets, as we know. So with no real understanding of what I was doing, to be honest, I'd just go for it, put myself on what I thought was the right calories, which was obviously mega low.
Bet it was 1800.
Well, I'm only short art, so it's lower sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. And just sticking to them calories weren't right. We had lads' holidays and stuff coming up. I always tried to trim a bit off, but I was just always up and down with my weight and that, which was frustrating because obviously I started with me being passionate about the gym. Obviously, was with the gear use,
right?
Which I have spoke about before.
Yeah.
But I'm a massive advocate for stay away from it until you really feel like you've reached your genetic potential, or just stay away from it in general. But yeah, I was training, dabbling here and there with poor guidance. Me and you spoke about this before, haven't we? But like, I was getting advice off guys from forums and that, who were probably 40 odd, double my weight. Do you know what I mean? Experiencing the game, and I was just reading it because I just wanted to be in the best shape. Like I said, watching all these bodybuilding stuff, just wanted to be in the best shape I could be in, but I didn't have nowhere near the knowledge that I do now. And I was always in average shape. We'd go away, and I look back at the pictures now, I was like, oh my God, for what I was doing. Don't need to go into like doses and all that, because it was just a lot on and off. But I'd come off, and then I'd be eating shit, and then I'd be not training for a couple weeks. You know what I mean? So there's no sustainability with that. all like unbeknown to me, like what I was probably actually doing to myself health wise, which I got a shock with when I got to 18. I ran a hefty cycle to not get in any good shape at all. And it was a prolonged cycle. I was on it for about 6 months, 7 months. Didn't come off. Too scared to come off.
Yeah.
All this advice that I took from someone who was a stranger. And I eventually did come off. And my head fell off. Big time. I mean big time, mate. Like, took me about 2 years to get right.
Really? What
Yeah,
do you mean, like hormones? Obviously,
hormones was all over. Testosterone had crashed.
Right.
I was going to the doctors twice a week. I was on medication for being depressed,
right.
anxiety. Yeah, it was a bad time, really bad time. That's why me and you have a similar stance on that, but I am very, very much against taking advice from people online. You'll never, ever, no matter where I've got to now, see me talking about specific dosages or giving people advice. I get people messaging me all the time now of like, what's your cycle? What should I run? I'm like, mate, I can't even tell you what your accurate calories would be right now without knowing your situation, let alone your dosages and stuff. So I try and stay clear of that because of what happened to me, but it was a bad time. Like I say, it took me years to even get right. So,
like, on that note though, I'll grip you quickly. What would you say to someone of a young age now in a world where everyone's saying take this and take that? What would your first words be to someone who's thinking about maybe getting on a cycle or taking gear?
I don't want to sound like someone's dad and say don't do it, because people are going to do what they're going to do regardless. Like they are. I did the same thing. But really educate yourself before you go into it. I would never recommend anyone personally to get onto any sort of PEDs unless you have a coach who's going to know more than you and be able to guide you through that.
Agreed.
Because there's too much misguidance and there's too much different variables that will affect you as a person. You don't have a clue. You'll hear a number and you think like a TRT range or whatever. You don't have a clue. And you are dancing with the devil a little bit from someone who's done it. And that's why I've got a bit of a heavy stance on it.
I love that message, yeah.
I just think as well, people will also try and use that as like a fast acceleration to get to where they want to be, because what you got to think is, bro, there's loads of people these days who are genetic freaks, who are hammering the gear from a young age. The threshold compared to probably when we was younger or when I was younger of athlete or people in the space who are people are looking up to, it's probably a bigger difference to someone who's starting out. People feel like they've got some catching up to do.
Yeah, true.
Does that make sense? In terms of like, the expectations are set really high now. Some of the genetic freaks, what you've got, and people who are 18
And on that note again, one thing that people don't understand, one of the variables speaking about is even your reaction to gear is completely genetic.
yeah, 100%.
Like, it's mental. Again,
100%.
why your key word was make sure you've got a coach before you even think about it, because just because he reacted like this to 2 mil of whatever doesn't mean that you're going to.
No, 100%.
That's one of the most dangerous things
100%.
about it.
And it's all person specific, as I said then. Calories. People will say, what do you think I should start my calories on? I get these messages all the time. I'm like, mate, I can give you a rough. Don't take it for gospel though. And it also depends on what you want the outcome to be as well. Because I'm very much not, we're digressing a bit from what we're saying here, but I'm very much not someone who will focus on heavy deficits and stuff, especially for the normal people, which we'll talk about in a bit when it comes to clients. But sustainability and people will just, the calories and stuff it'd be miles off what you would need to be on. There's no way you can decide that, just off a conversation. So when it comes with something that's going to impact your health, it's too saturated. And I've said to you, I was speaking about this the other day, like the content of smash gear, like gym bros, is the most boring.
Needs to stop.
Draining. Not even it needs to stop, mate. It's just boring. There's no education behind it. And people, I see comments, and I get comments myself, of young lads and messages who are 17 years old talking about running certain cycles and stuff. And I usually don't reply to them, but I replied to one not yesterday, the day before, and I said, listen, reach your natural potential first. That's what I try and tell most people. And people don't want to wait. I get it.
That's like you've not got a driver's license, but you've got to get on gear.
Yeah,
Cut
it's mad.
the shit.
It's mad. And just nail down on the nutrition and training aspect first. That's the most important thing. Because one thing I'd like people to take from me, if you're thinking to jump on a cycle, ask yourself these questions first. Number one, how nailed on around nutrition am I? Because what you think you might be, speak to someone who is, they'll tell you you're miles off it.
Absolutely.
There's guys who will ask, what cycle should I run? I ask them the question of, do you know what calories you run every single day specifically? And they're running an hour in. Gear's not for you, my mate. It's really not.
Oh, do you track your weights? Oh,
that's another one.
No. So why?
Nah. But I know where I'm at with it. No, you don't.
You just know what you bench.
Yeah. You don't.
You know what you bench and you know what you can kill. That's about it.
That's it. And like you say, especially jumping on to like you say there about tracking the lifts and stuff. That was another one. You do not know where you stand with it. So why would you then introduce a compound? I can promise you, don't need a crystal ball to look into the future and see that you are going to look natural at a detriment to your health. So what's the point? I'm a bit harsh with that.
It's the truth.
It's right, though, because like I say, I just don't think that people are really making use of the fundamentals, the 99%. They're too worried about the 1%, which we'll speak about in a bit. Got a nice hot topic on that, haven't we? But yeah, man, I just, if people try and run before they can walk and they want everything yesterday. So going back to what you said about, is there anything that I would say, is make sure that you have your nutrition and training dialed in. You're focusing on sleep, digestion, recovery as a minimum, and then think about it. And if you're not even looking to compete, the risk to reward ratio for your health, is it going to be worth it? That's my stance on it. What's yours?
Completely agreed. Yeah. Again, something we'll touch on a bit later on. But yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more, because if you box them off, you will feel enhanced, if anything.
You don't need it.
And then, if you've earned, would you say, some sort of credibility, maybe you can have a chat with your coach, maybe you can have a think, but and we'll touch into it later.
Depends on where you want to go with it. Depends on where you want to take
it.
In terms of like, if you do want to compete or...
But more to the younger generation, like you say, it's a no-go really, isn't it?
No. I just think, like I say, you've got your whole life ahead of you. And another thing I would say you can take from me is, from 10 years of training, on and off gear, messing about, not being consistent with the things that we mentioned, within 18 months of being pretty much dialed in with everything, there was still some improvements, especially at the start. I 10x my physique in, what's that, fifth of the time?
In less compounds as well.
Yeah.
Well, less dosages, let's say.
Lower dosages, but more longevity.
Guidance and militance.
Yeah. And that's what people will lack. People will lack the discipline.
Oh, the gear, I have no idea.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
finally, the gear topic. How many people do you know that are blasting gear, dangerous doses, look like they've never trained in their life?
There is, mate. There's a lot. And I think it's each to their own, right? I'm focused on what I'm doing. And I know for a fact, like I say, I don't speak about numbers, but my coach, Will, shout out Will, by the way, is very, very health focused. So we never run in dangerous amounts because we don't need to. We've seen what can be done when you get the 99% nailed down. So for me, obviously now moving into the off season, which we'll touch on later, but I know that I'm not going to be pushed to the limits in terms of that, because people use all the tools in the toolbox and then they've got nowhere to go. Whereas I know what the potential is going to be going forward. So less is more, really is. And you're just confident that you've got the other stuff in place. That's the most important thing.
I like it, mate. Yeah, nice. Good message. Take back to the timeline he was going on.
Yeah. So just so people know, we're going to be up and down and here and there and everywhere with this. But try and keep it to what we said in it. But
about thinking about couple. You said you was a couple of years into adulthood. You've trained. You've made some mistakes, and you went through a bit of a rough patch.
Yeah, I went through a rough patch. I lost my job as well. So it affected life massively. Like, and that was just down to, there was other things going on in my life and stuff. Won't lie, like there was, but that was the final bit of icing on the cake sort of thing. Like that was what sent me off the edge, and it took me a year to get back from that.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, emotionally. Then where would it be there? 21-ish. Didn't touch anything substance wise like that for a while, but I was still in and out of shape because I hadn't nailed the fundamentals down. I'd used the gear to sort of feel like it was going to propel me forward, like we spoke about with the younger lads these days, and it didn't do what it was supposed to do, or what I thought it was going to do. Managed to get my health back on track. I was going to the doctors. I had to go to the doctors every 2 weeks for checkups and like mental health checkups and stuff. It was bad, mate. It was really bad. Anyone who knows me around that time will know. It was a tough time for me. And then again, bouncing about, training, going on holidays, doing what I was doing. And I got to a point where I was like, I am not getting anywhere with this. I'm up and down, left, right. So my mate, Keaton, one of my best mates, has an online coaching business. Shout out Winning Fitness, by the way. Any ladies who, whatever walk of life you come from, he will be able to help you out. So, just a little plug there. But he just basically said to me, look, I can help you out. I can get you in shape. You just need to listen to me. When you've done years of training and you feel like you know it all, you don't.
Yeah.
Which, coming from someone who's your best mate, it's easy to hear, you know. It's like if a coach that you don't know tries to tell you that. I wouldn't have even thought of getting a coach, to be honest. And he was like, we will get you to where you want to be, but you'll be able to live your life. But there's got to be some balance, you know. But I need to teach you the fundamentals first. So we stripped it right back, learned about nutrition, flexible nutrition as well, which we're both massive on now. Education on training. I didn't realise how poorly I was training until you get overlooked and picked apart by someone who really does know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And again, that flexibility around food, that was my main issue. I'd be good Monday to Friday, comes a weekend, especially with my missus, the one and only. Shout out Mesa, the absolute rock of my life. She overfed me. Yeah. She really did.
We've seen what she was eating when he was on prep.
Yeah, but I ate healthier. I ate healthy food, portion sizes, was out of this world. The education and understanding calories and nutrition, which Keaton taught me.
But calories in, calories out don't matter.
I didn't have a clue, mate. And I was not food or calorie aware at all. Yeah. And we were eating, we was like, well, don't know what's going on here. I'm getting fatter and fatter. But we're eating home-cooked teas every night.
Yep.
What's going on? Yeah, but she's using all her own sauces, all that stuff. Like, there was no education or knowledge around food there, which Keaton taught me. And you became more food and calorie aware, learned how to manage the weekends, still enjoy the weekends, but you can have some of it, but you don't need to eat all of it sort of approach with the food. And I just eventually, over 9 months, learned all the habits I needed to learn and still enjoyed going out, still had a beer with my mates. And that was that final piece of the puzzle that was missing for me. And I got to about, I'll add a picture on the screen if we can.
Is this your photo shoot?
Photo shoot.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention. So that was the overarching goal of, we'll get you in shape and we'll do a photo shoot.
So was that 9 months for that?
Yeah.
That's sick, mate.
9 months.
You looked mega for that.
But it was I was really happy with the transformation, mate. It's the best shape I've ever been in, but it was more for me, the mindset and building them habits. That's why it took a little bit longer, because I still had the flexibility with food as well. Like I was still going out, but
you didn't want a quick result.
No,
you wanted the result that you can maintain. Everything you've said there speaks a lot about transformation, because you said that you've done it properly, you've done it sustainably.
Yeah,
you were going out, you didn't cancel your life.
Yeah,
you kept a healthy relationship with your missus and stuff.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. Real
100%.
Results. And
not a 12-week blast.
Nah,
because they don't work. Nah. We've both done them.
Well, they do, but the aftermath.
Yeah, it works to an extent, but when you're out of shape quicker than you got in shape, because you go away for a week and you come back and so not worth it. But yeah, so that was the overarching goal. Photo shoot, got that done. Got to not far off stage condition.
Yeah,
and that was my turning point where I was like, I felt unbelievable. I went away. Just getting compliments off. Like, it's always men that you get compliments off.
Well,
when you're in good shape, it's always only men you get compliments off. So I was getting compliments left, right, and centre, and I felt the best I've ever felt, my top off. That was the main thing for me, because I used to feel a bit uncomfortable, and especially Keaton, when we used to go and see him because he lived in Dubai. He was always in good shape, and I used to hate taking my top off. That was one of my turning points. Did the photo shoot, sick results. I was buzzing, and I'd learned all the skills that I needed to do to continue that. But that's when the main part of my life now comes in, which is obviously the competing and bodybuilding. I realised that, going back to what I was saying, when I was 13 and I wanted to compete, just didn't know how or where or when. That was the point. So within 2 or 3 weeks of that photo shoot, I'd scheduled a bodybuilding show, PCA First Timers, for the 28th of June the following year.
And the rest is history.
But that was really my kickstart to get me to where I am now. And it started by getting in shape.
Yeah.
Changed every aspect of my life, getting in shape. And I think people underestimate that. People really underestimate the power of not only look good, feel good, but if you can learn all the skills to change your habits around food, around lifestyle, around everything that you've ever learned around health and fitness, it changes your life. And I'm a byproduct of that.
I guess the main bit is when you get to a shape that you never thought you could have got in, you tell yourself that you can do something that you never thought you could have done.
100%.
Nothing to do with fitness and training though.
No.
In your whole life.
And
then, correct me if I'm wrong, if you didn't do that transformation where you change your physique, you wouldn't be sat here today.
No way.
And
no way.
I think I can say that, and I think anyone else who's ever done a good transformation, Darth Vader, can say the same.
Yeah, definitely.
It's life-changing.
Mate. It is. And that's why I preach this on socials quite a lot. Getting in shape doesn't just change your physical, changes every aspect of your life. And just coming down to the daily basics of holding yourself accountable, working towards an end goal, doing what you said you're going to do every single day, regardless of how you feel, you build resilience and you build yourself and character, and you rewrite your old habits of who you used to be. Someone who's out of shape and someone who's unhappy in the body has a different characteristics and mindset and belief and habits to someone or the same person who gets in shape. You don't keep them old habits. You become a new person, and it leads into every aspect of your life, which is partly why we're here now. But yeah, it's a mental journey, like going through that transformation and seeing what you actually can do. It makes you think, what else can I not do? That self-belief is you know yourself, mate, you've been through it. That self-belief that you get from doubt, doing something that you really wanted to do, managing to actually stick at it and seeing the results. What can I not do? And it does branch into every aspect of your life, I think.
It's life-changing completely.
100%. 100%.
I like it.
We're moving on into competing, or?
And then, so you done the shoot, you got the itch, you signed up.
Yeah.
And then get into off-season, and then finally you prep.
Well, so from the photo shoot, again, as I say, a couple of weeks after, booked that PCA First Timers in Derby, so 8th of June. So I had what? I had about 8 or 9 months. Did I make use of the 8 or 9 months? Did I fuck?
Right.
But we'll go into that. So I continued normal life as I was. Gained a little bit of weight because we pushed the needle a little bit. It was all natural, by the way, this one. So that was another thing, just going back to what we said. I realised what I could do. I wasn't enhanced. I hadn't been enhanced for a couple of years by this point. And I was like shredded for that standard.
Yeah.
Not compared to what I've done, obviously, but it was really like, it was unbelievable for where I'd been. Because I was 91 kg, 5'5".
Really?
I was 91 kg, bro. Yeah.
You said that you've not even shared that picture, have you?
Nah, there's a picture. I've got 2 pictures of me. Might show it you after. I might not though. So I've got 2 pictures that I've still got to this day, even though I'm confident as I am and we jump on social media and I'll talk whatever. There's still got 2 pictures of me inside like that. I just can't bring myself to use yet. Might use them in the future. But I think people will be shocked. The pictures that I use, I'm about 5-6 kg down
Right.
at that point, and I started to feel semi-comfortable with that. But I still look at them like, whoa. But yeah, so did the photo shoot. I had about 9 months or so there or thereabouts, but I got into life, and we did have to drop the hammer a little bit. So I was struggling because I had some kind of reversal to do, and I didn't stick to that. So I gained a little bit of weight. Kind of took my foot off the gas a little bit. I'd like, by that point, it was like, what, August, September. I had my birthday, was going away. October, coming into Christmas, you know how it goes sometimes. Keaton, to be fair, always tried to hold me accountable, but you'll only do what you want to do yourself. It doesn't matter how much you have someone on your shoulder. I just wanted to sort of, I just hit the fuck you button a little bit, which didn't stand me in good stead for going into the prep. I got introduced to Will, so I transitioned from being a lifestyle client with Keaton. He onboarded a bodybuilding coach, Will, who I'm still with now. And Keaton just basically passed in the reins because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to compete, and that's not his expertise. So always work within your scope in it, which is what he did. And it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Really is. Me and Will hit the ground running from day one. And I was still in these like bad habits a little bit in terms of I'd let myself go. But I had about 12 weeks until that run up to Christmas.
Right.
And into January, we said we'd do a little building phase. Right. So I started the building phase. He'd mapped, we were still learning about each other. Obviously, I didn't know him from Adam at this point. Now he knows my body better than I do. But we sort of mapped what we wanted to do in this small building phase just before we started the prep. I didn't stick to it.
Right.
My fault.
Yeah.
My fault. I was over Christmas and stuff. And it was a shame really because everything that I'd learned, I just sort of disregarded, which was a little bit of an undoing of all the hard work because he did teach me skills for life. But like I said before, whether you adhere to that, it's only you who's ever going to do that. You can have it all in front of you, or you can have someone messaging you every day, make sure you're accountable, which I say this to my clients now. You can take a horse of water, but you can't make it drink. So anyway, so we got to that point of on the back end of Christmas, January, and I was from 69. I got the photo shoot 69. I was like 83, 84.
Your size as well. Pretty.
Yeah. Well, I'd already been heavier, but I'd gained that weight, started to gain that weight back from my own doing.
Well, you looked a lot better. Like
I looked a lot better. I'd recomped my body. Do you know what I mean? I got to a point where I was pretty lean, and then we started building on that. I'd implemented my training habits. I just weren't as structured as I am now. But we had a lot of work to do. So January came, tried to do a little 4-week tidy up before I went to Miami. In March. And then obviously Miami in March, I went America for 2 weeks, did Miami Music Week, drinking, partying, the lot, American food, heavy. Went to Vegas and Memphis to see Elvis's Graceland. I'm a massive Elvis fan, if anyone don't know that. Do you know that?
I've seen it on TikTok.
Yeah. But I'm a massive Elvis fan, so went there. That was sick. Sickest trip I've ever done, all round. But I paid the price because I got home. I was 85.3, I think, something like that, with 12 weeks to go.
Wow.
Till that show. So, obviously, I've got home. I remember it to this day. Got off the flight. Next day, got to the gym. Sent Will some checking pictures over, videos and that. And he just said, we've got some work to do, mate. Will's cool as a cucumber, calmest guy you'll ever meet. Like, I need that. I'm a bit frantic, me. I need to know the ins and outs of a cat's ass all the time. And he just was like, got some work to do, but we'll be all right. Little did I know, in 12 weeks I was going to pull off 21 kg. But you got to do what you've got to do.
Yeah.
So did that. Got to 65.5, shredded to the bone.
Mad.
On the run up to that show, obviously I was documenting my process, and TikTok and Instagram following was growing and growing and growing by this point. And brought in some decent condition, obviously, to be fair.
But it's a condition like I've never seen before, mate.
Yeah. But she took the internet pretty by storm, to be fair, without being too big-headed. But I didn't see it, which is mad. When I was in it, I didn't see what we were doing. My reaction from socials was made me go, right, we're doing something here. I genuinely thought the condition, I'll put a picture on, or we'll put a picture on, but I genuinely thought the condition I was bringing was bog standard. Like, that was the expected, like, you don't come in less conditioned than that. And I posted a reel 4 weeks out of my face, and within like 3 days, I had 5 million views on Instagram, 3 million views on TikTok, and that's when I realised, right, something's. Yeah. And I said to Will, I said, what's going on, mate? I said, like, this is gaining that much traction. I thought it was standard. Oh. And he was like, what we've done is not standard, mate. So I was like, fair enough. But yeah, that's when the social started growing. But it was a couple of days out from the first show, and I was already gaining traction because of, like, as I mentioned, but the following was unbelievable by the like 2 days out from that show. Every video was getting like 100,000 views. Like, even on TikTok, I was getting 30, 40,000 views for a video. Bearing in mind, I'm posting 3-4 times a day.
I remember it was mad.
Mad.
I remember the viral video. I was looking at it. It was like 300K or something on the first day. And then it went up every time. I was just refreshing the page and it was going up. I was
up and up and up. My notifications
it was mad.
Was going off. I started off me on Instagram, 100 and something followers. Yeah. Obviously, I started with 0, but when I really started taking it serious, it was 100 and something.
This year, that was it? Or was it last year, you reckon?
Nah, last year.
Right.
When I was talking about that 12-week thing, I started posting bits here and there because I obviously started posting on TikTok. Yeah. And within 3 days, I was on like 3,000-4,000 followers. Mad. And the comments and everything was just going mad.
Well, people in my work had seen the video.
Yeah. People still mention it now. It's mad.
But when I talk about it, I say the prep face guy.
yeah, that's what I get. That's what I get. I was walking down the canal the other day. I was on the phone to someone, and someone said, wow, it's a prep face and half that. And he turned around and he was laughing, but obviously he's just like, people recognise that video. It's a mad one. But that's what really like set the tone, really. Because I had so I went into that first time of show, and what an experience them shows are, mate. Just in general, the tanning process. Obviously you've competed as well, which you don't actually talk about too much these days. I don't know why. But the process of just going through that was a journey in itself. That was sick, man. I loved every minute of it.
You feel like you finally, like, that was your purpose? Like, after all them years walking and flexing someone at what, 12, 13, you finally felt like, wow, this is me.
Yeah, 100%. So I found my purpose of what it was. I spent years of life not knowing who I was, for one, and where I wanted to take it. That's genuine. It's a bit of a sad thing to say, really, but I didn't feel like I had a purpose. Bouncing about from jobs and never really had any money, and just didn't really know kind of which way I wanted to take life. And I knew within the first probably 4 weeks of doing that prep, this is where I want to be. Yeah. Because as we said before about improving every aspect of your life, I took it to another level. Consistency was next to none. That focus, being goal driven. Yeah. Never missed a beat. Did not miss a beat for 12 weeks. Yeah. Like, not one.
I remember it. He was on, what was it, 45 minutes cardio daily from the start?
45 minutes. So I feel like I've not really touched on, I've skimmed over prep a little bit here, haven't I?
We'll go a bit more into it.
Go a bit more into it.
You did that. I remember asking you about 4 weeks out, your calories were low.
Yeah, it was.
And that's because obviously that's what you needed to do. Come back from Miami looking like a pudding.
I did. Did enjoy myself, but to the expense of 45 minutes cardio a day, 1,700 calories a day.
Right. Most people can't do that for a week. Oh. But most people can't do 45 minutes cardio in one go. That's not to slate them, that's more to say that, fucking hell, so I'm going like.
But honestly, when you have such a goal, when you have such a purpose-driven goal, you will do anything. I had no step unaccounted for. I had no gram of rice unaccounted for, because I had in my head going up to it that people are going to be conditioned as me. They're going to be bigger than me, because I was 60. By the time I've done a 60, I've not got a lot of muscle mass, or didn't have. 65 piss wet through. Yeah. And I'm going to have to win this on condition, which Will told me, which was all through the process of, because I didn't understand bodybuilding shows, how it worked, what they were looking for, and he was just guiding me all the way through the process. But it was just proven to myself that if you want something hard enough, you will do it, no matter what gets put in your way, no matter what. And that's what we had to do, and it shows. You actually do get out what you put in with anything in life, 100%. Not just competing. So yeah, that prep was tough though, mate. You know yourself how hard prep is. We met up, didn't we? What was it, 4?
Our first meeting 4 weeks out. And
4 weeks out.
You look lifeless. Well, your condition then was better than most people, better than my stage condition. Well, that's at 4 weeks out, but you look great, but your head was falling off.
The better you look, the worse you feel.
Yeah.
100%. Don't care what anyone says.
You had no energy at all, but that's what you need to do.
Knew what I was doing. But apparently I looked 7 weeks out. Yeah. Remember when I posted that video and that guy commented saying he looked 7 weeks out, and I was like 4 weeks out. We'll
get into these.
Anyway, but it's not what you need when you. But I was that focused, and it doesn't matter to me what anyone was saying. I knew what I was doing, and going to bed every day, knowing that I'd done everything. That's all you can do.
When did you start implementing? This is actually a question I want to know. So, when did you start implementing like the 5 a.m. wake ups, the proper bodybuilder's lifestyle? Was that in the photo shoot prep or this prep?
Nah, this one.
Right.
So when I first went into prep, it weren't an overnight process. Yeah. It took me a while to figure it out. Obviously, I was still in poor habits.
Especially after Miami.
After Miami, doing whatever and eating and stuff. But from the day I got back, I knew that I needed to make these adjustments. And you've got to live a way that's going to be able to facilitate that. Luckily, with the job that I was doing, working for Keaton in sales, I did have a bit more flexibility in the mornings and stuff. Obviously, I had the work that I needed to be done, which I got done, but like I was essentially working for myself. So I had more flexibility than a lot of people have, because I've like people who are on the tools and stuff.
Yeah.
There's guys who compete who are on the tools and they're working 12 hours a day and all that. It's mental.
Props to them. Absolute savages, yeah.
Serious, but you have to find a structure and routine that works for you. That goes for anyone. Yeah. So I started implementing small things at first, just building small habits. The first things was just making sure I could get back on track with the food. Get back on track with eating right.
It's essential, isn't it?
I was eating all sorts. mate, in my life.
Cakes and stuff.
For my breakfast, all sorts. I am a fat kid at heart, mate. I really am. And I will go for them things. If I'm given half the chance of 50-50, I will go for them things, and I always will do, and I know that's me.
What, 5 plates of all-inclusive breakfast?
Easy.
Pancakes, chocolate sauce.
Easy, mate.
A bowl of cereal.
Yeah, just to balance it out.
Kids talking on a podcast.
just to balance it out a bit, just them fast acting carbs, just so you feel like you've not ate too much.
A little pause by the pool.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just started implementing small habits, and it was just getting the food right first, then started getting the training back on. And naturally, I won't lie, the early morning wake-ups come from getting leaner and leaner and getting closer to the show. Yeah. That came from that. Obviously, I was watching how other bodybuilders and people live their lives, people who are in the amateur space, and I took a lot of inspo from people like that. And how you have to ask yourself if this is what you want to do. Once you realised it was, I need to be the best version of me and implement the best structure that works for me as well. But taking advice off guys who are doing well.
Yeah.
Always look at the guys who are doing well, you know? That's who you can take the most inspo from, innit? So them 5 a.m. wake-ups, though, they came from just purely because my body was waking me up. I was getting to that point of low body fat. Yeah, low body fat. I was having 3 to 5 hours sleep a night if I was lucky. Going to bed, getting in bed, just sat there wired, waking up. Not tired, just constantly feeling wired all the time. But yeah, I just nailing the 1%, mate, and getting to the end of that show. And then I had another show, the Two Bros regional show, the week later. So we just surfed into that.
Yeah.
I won that as well. Going back to the PCA though, no better feeling than winning that PCA first time show.
Your first ever comp.
That first show, I've missed that out completely, and that was probably the defining moment of me fully being like, this is where I've got to be.
It was mad though, because when you won that, obviously it was sick to see for someone who, again, I don't know you for so long. I remember, again, whizzing through the comments on the post, and it was like, because you took everyone through the journey, you documented the process. There was like, I've never been so happy for a stranger.
Yeah,
well deserved, mate, because it was evident, that you'd put the work in.
Yeah.
So when you finally got the result and you won, it was like, it was expected with the condition you brought.
I didn't expect it.
Well,
won't lie.
Who was commenting on his stuff? You had obviously your mate Naz.
Yeah.
And then was it Matt Gregor?
Yeah.
Sick, mate.
The support, like I say, there's a lot more I should have gone into a bit more detail with, but like that run up when I was saying about that support, and that video went viral, and then I posted it again and it went viral again, and I posted it on TikTok. My account around prep on Instagram was doing 11 million views every 30 days. TikTok was about 4 or 5 million.
That's mad.
I was getting support along the way. So two of the top 10 Olympia classic bodybuilders, Niall Darwin and Matt Grego, was giving the support. Matt Grego commented saying this is elite condition.
Surely you knew you won by that point.
Nah, I didn't, mate. I didn't. I really didn't. You get so blinded by what you're doing.
Yeah.
I didn't think that. I knew that I'd look decent, but I had nothing to compare it to. But you do doubt yourself, as you know yourself. Like, you're going into it, am I lean enough? Have I done enough? Is there anything more I could have done? But there actually wasn't. There really wasn't. So yeah, but that support around them shows that really blew up the socials and kind of made.
You built a name. You made a bit of a statement with them, didn't you?
It's kind of just like I said, I just didn't know that wasn't what people did. I really didn't. I remember, funny story, I walked into the PCA show to get my tan done. What an experience that is, by the way. Anyone who don't know, it's the weirdest thing when you've never done it before. The sock. Walking into that room where it's like a butcher's room with the plastic all dangling down.
250 lean men.
And you've got guys in there like that. Yeah, all like that with socks on the dicks. All around
sock
fans.
on a cock.
All around fans, and you're like, well, what is going on here? But yeah, it was just a mad journey with it. It was the best thing I've ever done, and I'm glad that I decided I was going to do it. I'm glad that I stuck to it, and yeah, it just rolled into the next show, and then I won the next show, won 2 classes at the next show at the Two Bros, which I was really happy with, really was. And then I had some time off, and it went a bit downhill in terms of food and stuff. Don't know if we're going to get onto that in a bit, but
yeah, we'll get into the post-show rebound in a bit.
Get onto it in a bit, sweet. So then I got invited to both British finals, the PCA and Two Bros British finals, which was on the 18th and 19th of October. So bearing in mind now we're on like the 5th of July. I've finished the shows, them 2 shows, got a bit of a break, went away for my friend's wedding, or to my friend's wedding, and got married together. Came back, and it was basically British finals was on. We had quite what's that? 3 months. So I had the same amount of time to get ready for the British finals as I did for my first shows, but about 16 or 17 kg actual body weight less to lose. So he's in a good spot, which I bang on to a lot of people, by the way. Make sure you keep yourself in the best spot possible when it comes to being around your shows and going into building phases, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So me being me, got itchy feet, was just banging on through the process, was at a maintenance phase, and it was boring because we couldn't drop the hammer too early because I didn't have that much body fat to lose, and it was all new environment to me. All I knew was go, go, go. It was weird, really weird, because it was like, my coach Will was like, we can chill out a bit, and I was like, well, I don't know chilling out. I know 45 minutes of cardio. It was a bit of a weird spot to be in, like mentally as well. But then everything was going to plan, and then like 8 weeks out from the British final, 6 weeks out, I just got itchy feet and said, listen, there's a FitX regional show there.
Oh yeah.
I want to do that. I was like 3 weeks out from that show, 2.5 weeks. I said, do you reckon we can manage it? He said, I think we'll be good, mate, without being a detriment to the October shows. So we did that. Come in. It's a pretty stacked class, to be fair. I won that again, which I was buzzing with. But I was heavier than my first 2 shows by about 5 kg, 5.5 kg. That's how depleted I was the first show. I was going to ketosis and all sorts to get that condition and get back to a baseline of like recomp. Won that show. And then I was just, like I say, just all kind of rolled into one. Content was, support on the socials was still good. And then I got to the final dance of the year, which was the Two Bros International qualifiers, British Championships, and the PCA, which was on the same weekend, which is a rough one, travelling wise and that.
Yeah.
One's in Birmingham, one's in Telford. It was a bit of an arse ache, but that concluded the season. Came 6th out of 9 on the Two Bros show. The guy who won my class went and got his IFBB Pro card.
Sick.
And he came 2nd in the Amateur Olympia the week before. So it was a heavy standard. Like,
Oh.
stood up pretty well though, to be fair. I was,
Mate, first of the season, that's class.
I was pretty happy with it.
Class.
Really happy. And then the PCA show, I came 7th out of 13. Again, stacked.
Sick, mate.
But that was the best I'd felt on stage. Like, I enjoyed it the most.
Yeah.
Really did enjoy it. And that wraps up the season.
Mega, mate.
But that is a long and short of a long short.
Yeah. Wraps brings you around there today, then.
Round to today, yeah.
And then just lastly, obviously, touch on something that we discussed. I exclusively knew about it. Obviously, the change in career. That you said you was going to hold off to us after the British finals, which you did.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, you're fully doing that. So,
Yeah.
becoming a coach, obviously.
Yeah, man.
So,
Best decision I ever made already. So, just for a bit of context, for people who don't know, because I've not massively spoke about this, really, because I was just kind of, there's not actually a reason, just kind of just getting on with life and stuff, trying to balance everything while you're doing content creation. You know, when you've got another job, it's difficult. It is, especially when you go all in on something. But as I said before, my mate Keith, he gave me a job doing sales for his online coaching company, which he pulled me out of the shit of, to be fair, because I was in a job that it was all right, it was decent and well paid, but
yeah.
I was working nights,
Shy.
12 at night till 12 in the afternoon.
Get out.
It was a heavy one, mate. So luckily he gave me an opportunity to go and work with him doing sales, which I learned a lot about sales from. And yeah, I'd always wanted to coach. Something I'd always wanted to do. Just another thing, like, I just didn't know where or how.
Yeah.
I just knew that I wanted to do it. And then through social media and stuff, I've been giving people advice for free, same as you, like since I started.
About a year, bit over 2 years.
Since I started and built the socials up through that by just giving value and just helping people. DMs full of people asking questions and stuff. And I just thought at some point I was like, I was getting about 20 DMs a day.
Yeah.
Asking for advice. I was getting back to everyone as best as I could, but I thought, like, I'm doing this for free here. Why don't I make it into a profession?
When it's your passion as well.
When it's a passion, when you're so passionate about it as well. Like I say, I was not batting an eyelid at doing it for nothing.
Yeah.
I really wasn't. So why not make it a profession?
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a chat with Keith and stuff, and he was fully supportive of it. And as of a couple of weeks ago, we parted ways, and I went full-fledged with it. And the rest is history, mate. It was just took on 10 at first.
Yep.
Just because I wanted to focus on service. I think that's so important. A lot of people miss that point. Service is what is the most important thing, and making sure that client experience is good, which is something that I learned from him.
Yep.
Is that is so important. Which I did learn a lot about becoming who I was from him. He made a man out of me, like, really did.
Yeah.
In terms of from when I first started working with him to where I am now, mindset development and just everything. So I do owe him a lot.
Yeah.
I really do. Shout him out there. But there's a lot of, if you was to look at me like 2 years ago, personality wise, mindset, professionally, everything, I was totally different. And like I say, a lot of it does come from him. But instilling them sort of things that have allowed me to go on and do this coaching.
Yeah.
Because if I'd have threw it on me, I did want to do it 2 years ago, but if I'd have tried to do it, it wouldn't have even got off the ground, mate. Because I just wasn't that type of person or ready to be that person.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going good, man. All my guys are happy. Checking after checking, I'm looking forward to it, and they're looking forward to it. And I've had some really good, positive sort of results and feedback so far, which is really good, man. Which I won't lie, I've took a lot of inspo from you, mate.
Oh, mate.
I have, honestly. Like when we have a weekly catch up, don't we? Which is very much like what we're doing now.
Sluts for a coffee.
Just about the lights and about the microphone, but we have a good chat, and it's really inspiring to me. I just want to let you know that, like, just when we've chatted and you tell me how many clients you've got and how they're getting on and stuff, like, really give me a push to be like, if you can do it, I definitely can do it. Why can I not? Took that fear away of just that fear of failure and just went for it.
Nice.
So I appreciate that, mate. You did that without even realising. So
I appreciate
I'm grateful.
you looking at us in a positive way. But yeah, nice, mate. Obviously, with the coaching as well, it's kind of second nature to you because you'd had done the training, you'd had done the shows, and you'd had done the photo shoots, and because you was, I'm saying directly, but you was directly working with people when you was doing the contents because you was getting back to everyone's comments, doing reply videos. You was touching on all different subjects to like the Manjaro, the fat jabs, all that good stuff. So then obviously aggressive cut, just a lot of it, which was good. So you had the people skills, you had obviously the knowledge, you had obviously experience with your good mates, who you coach with, who coach you, sorry. So
it just all kind of
come together,
which was good. I think it all led to that one path without even realising.
Inevitable.
It was weird though, because you get in shape. That was the first goal, just being miserable, get in shape. Then I started talking about being in shape. Yeah. Because I'd always wanted to do social media.
Really?
Like, yeah, mate. We'll get into that. I've got some funny bits that you don't even know about my early days of social media, but I've always wanted to do it, and it all fell hand in hand without even realising. So I got to that end point, and I was like, looking back after a year, and I was like, this is all meant to be together as one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was meant to be making content, meant to be an online coach. I was meant to be a bodybuilder. And them things all fit in unison. I look at my life now, right? And I have 4 things I need to think about. 4 things.
Yeah.
Instead of it being chaotic life, I've got my missus, day-to-day stuff. There's obviously other stuff, but main focus is keeping my missus happy.
Yeah.
Content, clients, bodybuilding. That is it.
What more could a man want?
Everything else is an extra, which there is other things, obviously, but like just the main focus is day-to-day. And it's a simple life, mate. But they all feed into one.
Yeah.
You can't do one without the other. You really can't. So find that balance.